Zira needs you. It's always important, but this time is especially important. Our failed attempt to steal Magnifica Falora's dowry. If we left the tomb empty-handed, why does the Iron Wheel think we have it? And if it's gone, who actually stole it? Zira needs you to help her find answers. You'll find Zira in the den. She's a bit withdrawn. Not my business, but I figured you should know. Just what the rest of us know. Nicholas, our former guildmaster, planned to steal Magnifica Falora's dowry from her family tomb. He brought Zira and a few others, the best of the guild. Zira is the only one who made it out alive. Zira hasn't shared the details. She watched her friends die, I know that much. Nicholas wasn't exactly a father to her, but she took his death the hardest. We thought they were punishing us for our failed attempt, but you overheard Chief Inspector Ron Beek himself. The dowry was stolen. For some reason, the Iron Wheel thinks we have it, and they'll keep after us until they learn otherwise. A dowry is like a coin pouch. When it's full, everyone wants something from you. That makes you feel important, and maybe you are. But when it's empty, nobody has time for you. It's why Magnifica Falora is relying on the Iron Wheel to find it.
No charge to have a look.
Back to the tomb? Your plan is to relive the Guild's greatest failure?
My plan is to get the Iron Wheel's boot off our necks. Good, you're here. I want to learn whether Magnifica Falora's dowry was truly stolen from her family tomb. If it was, we find out who did. And if it wasn't, we complete the heist that Nicholas began. What's she gonna do? Send a second Iron Wheel? We return to Aldenobia Tomb, bypass the deadliest traps I've ever encountered, and then scour the treasure vaults for anything we can find. I appreciate the confidence, but too many good people died there the first time. We do this right, or we don't do it at all. Perseus Loke can give us an edge. He's one of the few living people to set foot in Magnifica Falora's family tomb. Take Quen and collect him from his shop. Meet the rest of us on the road to Tanith by Prince's Gate. I guarantee Perseus Loke is no friend of the Iron Wheel. He's expecting you at the Diamond Thimble. And he'll be insufferable if you keep him waiting. Nicholas thought his plan to steal the dowry was almost flawless. But almost won't bring our friends back. He didn't have the right people for the job, but I do. Nicholas knew of the dangers within, but not everything. There was a trap. I didn't understand how it worked. Not until it was too late. But this time, I know how it works, and I'll need you by my side to defeat it. Perseus Loke once served Magnifica Falora. When she wore the clothes he designed, she was the envy of Tanith society. But there was a scandal, and he fled here, beyond Tanith's reach. I don't know exactly what happened, but I do know he blames her. She's the heir to the Aldenobia bloodline. Her eldest sister, Zarifa, wed King Faharajad. After Zarifa's death, Falora and the king grew close. But not close. They call her the Jewel of Tanith. Beautiful, cold, and hard as a diamond.
Off to find Perseus Loke. Meet you there, partner.
Everyone else, pack for a long journey. I'll bring us home safe and sound.
More promises you can't keep.
Maybe the clerk can tell us what happened. This doesn't look good. Maybe the clerk knows what happened to Perseus Loke.
This one shall lodge a formal complaint. What right has the Iron Wheel to march in here and smash our merchandise? Thugs. Thugs and hooligans! That's exactly what the Iron Wheel said, but much louder and with the shaking of fists. When they bellowed his name, I heard a loud crash upstairs. A distraction, of course. The Iron Wheel rushed upstairs as he slipped down through some loose floorboards. But he landed feet first in a tub of bright dye, covered his boots to the brim. That's also what the Iron Wheel said. Most of them gave chase. The rest tossed the room upon the floor and then gave chase. If you find him before they do, tell him Mamea deserves a raise.
You follow Loke's trail on the street. I'll see if I can spot him from the rooftops. Hurry!
I like to drink.
Is this on straight?
Hurry! The Iron Wheel are on his trail.
Well?
What'll I do?
Ah, a friendly face. Good of you to join me on my unexpected jog. And I agree, this isn't my color. They must know of my previous involvement with your guild, though I can't begin to fathom how. Your former guildmaster, Nicholas, was it? He was the soul of discretion. And I am prepared to give Abar's Landing a wide berth. I'd prefer to avoid the Iron Wheel, at least for the time being. Zira mentioned a rendezvous by Prince's Gate, was it? I'd feel safer were someone to escort me there.
Perseus Loke? I'll get you to Prince's Gate, safe and sound.
Would you happen to have a spare set of boots?
I don't think mine will fit you. Come along, we'll work something out.
Everyone's accounted for. Did you have any trouble? Then we leave for the Kingdom of Tanith. The route is tricky and we'll be considered bandits if we're caught. But getting to the tomb isn't what worries me. If anything happens, well, it won't. Because I can count on you. Ready? What about it? Devious traps, vicious guardians, and likely, at the end of it all, a vault full of dust. At least we won't have to worry about the Iron Wheel. I'd rather sit in a den with a bottle of wine and drink until Andari says I've had too much. But I'm in charge, so it doesn't matter what I think. It matters that we go.
If I may, there is an alternate path inside the tomb. It is likely full of traps, guardians, and prodigious quantities of dust. A small price to avoid the Iron Wheel. Head to the tomb entrance. Keep watch to the side of the path, the right side. You should notice an old trail leading to a sealed entrance. Simply clear the way, and I shall join you to open the door. Oh my, no. The things inside would most certainly kill me. I do know the trick to the door's hidden latch. The rest, I'm certain you can handle yourself.
The last time I was here, the Iron Wheel wasn't camped in front of the tomb. Perfect. Scout ahead and find us a way inside. Clear the way if you care to. The Iron Wheel can't exactly call for reinforcements. You could also sneak past them. We'll track your progress and follow in your footsteps. That's why we brought Perseus Loke. He said something about a side entrance. Speak with him before you go.
Oh, for once I'd like to travel to a remote location and not find the Iron Wheel.
I would avoid engaging the Iron Wheel at all costs. Perhaps find some other way to slip into the tomb. But you are not I, and the world is better for it. For instance, I could never make those pants work.
See how the Iron Wheel litters their camp with traps? Or perhaps you don't. Try not to die out there.
There it is! One moment, and I'll have it open. I hope. There we are. Watch for traps in there. The Yokudins did love their traps.
Ask Zira. She knows how to do everything in this place. Unless it's stealing a dowry.
Anything useful?
Nicholas loved his puzzles. You're welcome to try.
understand you were instrumental in crushing the Daggerfall army at Devon's watch.
done. Come on, let's go. The journal says this chasm is called Shinji's Truth. Last time, we never made it across.
I can't see the bottom. Is there a bottom?
Throw yourself in. We'll see how long before we hear the splat.
Quen, walk softly. Look for hidden doors or switches. Belsa, you're with me. I need your help to walk Maluk's path.
And what of your protege?
Watching my back, should anyone try to stab it. Let's go. Forgive me, my old friends.
What did you say?
Nothing. Belsa, do you see that panel? Put your hand on it until I say otherwise.
For what reason?
When I set foot on Maluk's path, an aura of light will surround me. The darkness cannot harm us as long as you touch the panel.
So, what can harm you?
We could fall to our deaths, or the creatures within could devour us.
Well then, enjoy yourselves.
Belsa knows what to do, but we should speak before we cross. On the other side of Maluk's path is Tall Papa's Ewer, a very fancy name for a big vase. According to the journal, we'll need sacred ashes from inside the base to reach the treasure vaults. So, this is it. We should get going. This is where they died. Edda, Dalder, and Nicholas. Swallowed by the darkness. I'm sorry, I can't talk about this. No use reliving the past, or regretting it. Here we go. Don't wander, or the darkness itself will flay you alive. We're still moving. Keep holding the panel. To their bodies. And where is Nicholas? I could hear their screams as I held the switch. I had to do something. I couldn't. This is a dead end. Let's turn back. There must be another way we missed. There's no end to the darkness.
Zira, my arm's getting tired.
Don't you dare release that panel!
of the statues gave me a funny look!
Don't antagonize it. We made it. That must be the vase. Sorry. Tall Papa's you... Wait. That lamp belonged to Nicholas. I watched it go out. I heard him die. Fallora must have come here to investigate. She could have picked it up and brought it here. Nicholas couldn't have survived. That lamp definitely belonged to Nicholas. I procured it for him. I saw him drop the lamp. It hit the path and went out. And all I remember is darkness and pain. I... Just grab the ashes so we can leave. I don't want to spend any more time in this place. Bring the ashes. We should return to Quen and walk softly. Velsa, you could let go of the panel.
I know what you did.
What?
I know how they died. How you killed them.
That's low, Velsa. Even for you.
Always had to be the hero. Be the Guildmaster's darling.
You're cracked. I didn't need anyone's approval.
You held the panel. From here you saw the creatures closing in. You thought you could save them. Only you! So you released the panel, grabbed your weapon, rushed out to meet them.
I could have saved them.
Because in your head, you are the hero. But the light faded. The darkness rushed in and ate them alive!
I tried to reach them.
And the darkness tried to eat you alive, so you had to recover from your wounds. That's why you didn't return to Abba's landing. At least not soon enough.
I crawled from the tomb. The darkness... You can't imagine the pain.
You were the only one who could have warned the Guild. Who could tell them the Iron Wheel was coming.
Velsa, stop.
Zira, you were never the hero. You were always a thief. Now, you're just a shadow.
Quen, it's a bad idea.
Words escape me.
Someone tell me what I'm seeing.
We heard strange noises in the chasm. Stone grinding against stone. Quen, well...
I found this invisible bridge.
So you followed my advice and threw yourself into the chasm.
The ashes. Spread them on the bridge to see where it leads. And Quen, get back from there. Clear the way. We'll be right behind you. The door to the treasure vaults, just through this crypt. We
Do
made
all
it.
crypts come with whatever that is?
Every tomb needs a guardian. And old Yokuden saying, wasn't it?
Your introduction is formless and without grace. Recite Denobia's maxim.
That's alarming.
Felsa, Quen, walk softly. Stay back. If it's hostile, we'll handle it.
Recite Denobia's maxim, or you shall be deemed trespassers.
It must be some kind of passphrase. If you have any ideas, now's the time to call them out.
You can't seriously expect us to.
Falora!
Yakuda!
Passphrase!
Gaiden Shinji!
Idiots.
Velsa, you aren't even trying.
Trespasser! Denobia's justice falls upon you!
That didn't go as planned.
You're right. I honestly thought it would kill us all.
Come on, let's see what's in the treasure vaults.
Let me see that. Nicholas used half maps like this. Thin
That
overlays
page.
placed atop
Is it
existing
from the
maps.
journal, Nicholas?
You line them up with common points of
Tuwaka
reference.
watches over you. The passphrase for the Crypt Guardian? I nearly had it.
What's wrong with that skeleton? Missing its head. Looks like it was hacked off. Must have been done by whoever stole the dowry.
Nicholas survived somehow. He came here and took Magnifica Felora's dowry for himself. I don't want to believe it, but that's how it seems. Unless I'm missing something. Am I missing something? This is his handwriting. But it could have been taken from his journal by someone else. The skeleton must be Denobia herself. This is her tomb, after all. I don't see what it has to do with Nicholas, missing skull or not. 3 points on this sheet. Nicholas always used Abaz Landing and Noshira Citadel as a reference. If I line up those 2 points... Well now, the 3rd point is in Hughes Bane, out in the middle of nowhere. Trash he left behind? 3 dots on a page are meaningless unless you know the trick. The only people who did were dead on Maluk's path. Head to Hughes Bane. If Nicholas does have a hideout in the desert, it's time we crack it open.
Zira should have known. She should have seen it.
Perhaps Nicholas was wounded. Maybe he's trapped and needs our help. Or... well, I'd rather not think of that.
hope this isn't what it looks like. I've never seen Zira, so taut.
Is it strange that I don't want to find anything? I don't want to believe Nicholas abandoned us, even though it's probably true. We should look around. Nicholas had a disguise kit just like this one. In fact, this is his disguise kit. Papers. Signed by Kosh? What are those doing here? Look, closely. There's a hollow crystal with... Is that blood inside? Whose blood? Ancient Yakutan coins, stamped with the likeness of Denobia. Those must be from the dowry. I know how Nicholas survived Maluk's path. The crystal must contain Aldenobia blood. Maluk's path would ignore you if you held it. You'd need a lamp to find your way through the darkness so you could grab a handful of ashes. From there, all you'd need is the Crypt Guardian's passphrase. I've seen enough. Nicholas faked his death and stole the dowry. Now he's working with that merchant lord, Kosh. To think I mourned that bastard. Nicholas would have kept such a thing from the guild. The less they know, the less trouble they'll cause. But I'm going to tell the Thieves' Guild. I want them to cause a world of trouble, and I want to lay it all on his doorstep. Let's go. I told the guild about Nicholas betraying us. Walk softly took it in stride. Quen gave me a hug, and Elsa walked off without a word. All in all, better than expected. The Iron Wheel is a hurricane that blew into port and smashed everything in its path. Nicholas and Kosh are the ones who set it in motion. Now, we learn what they hold most dear. Then, we take it from them. Nicholas taught me how to be